Hello, storytellers. I'm going to do a Apostles of the Apocalypse video here. Sorry about all the global ranting, political, religious videos. I just, how the world's going. Okay, so let's do. I'm going to be doing a, Apostles of the Apocalypse. So as you can see here, I only have 10 pages for the Kickstarter. I haven't even done this one part of it yet. So I'm gonna start doing it and show you how I do it in this game because of how fun it is. And this is low res. Let me switch this. I don't know why it's doing this now. It used to be just display performance, high quality. Okay. These are my maps, and I get these through Foundry. Come on. Gonna load them or what? The woes of my typical. Okay, there they are. All right. They're high res now. So how I make, as a game master, Christian role-playing game, how do I make a adventure in the Apostles of the Apoc? The Hex World. And this is going to be included as a printable or PDF if you join the Kickstarter. As an example of things you can do, and I will make the assets too. I will draw out all the characters that I come up with, all the creatures and beasts that I come up with using the rule book. Let me go back down to this page. So down here, around 30, the page 30s is where you can create the hex map. Okay, and so let's make one. And then in Foundry, what I like to do is tinker with the assets to create a map of the area. Because I generally GM in Foundry, but if you did this on a table, you could just kind of scribble out what you want, or create your own little map of the area that they go exploring in, and then all the different things that they could encounter. I mean, you could just draw it on, you could just doodle it out if you want. It's however you want to do it. But this will be available for you if you get the printable PDF downloads as well for the game. And this is a Christian thing, so you're going to create an encounter where the missionaries go out in their souped up RV and explore the wastelands, and they have no idea what's in this area. They do know that it's been 100 years since there's been a civilization, then after the nuclear war, and then who knows what kind of survivors are out there, what kind of mutant beasts are out there, what kind of crazy ancient things. And the year is 2300, I think, 2300 AD, because so during the nuclear war, this is a whole timeline in this game, in all my games for the Loader RPG, but there was a futuristic world setting before the nuclear war, so there was sci-fi already. So in this wasteland of 2300 AD, there's possibilities of finding sci-fi stuff like robots and. So it's Gonzo in a sense, and that you can find all kinds of crazy stuff. Gonzo being, Gonzo's being like you could just throw in sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. And it's gonna kind of be like that because there's gonna be, all the demonic possession, potential black magic, and then as well as sci-fi. Anyway, so on the left here is the terrain hexes, and you basically just roll. I'm gonna use a regular dice. So I start off. I rolled a 6. Okay. Ruins. Wow. So you start the game with a home hex, right? Where the mountain is, where they start off. And then basically on whichever side they decide to go to, that's where you roll the next hex. And the hex is about 30 miles. This is kind of my 20, 30 miles, whatever. All right. So ruins. Right here is ruins. So when they do enter that area, you're going to give them a minus D6 to the drive. They get a plus D4 to search, so if they're looking for things. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know why I did that. No, I do know why I did that. But that's kind of cool. So if they find ruins, there's a good chance of them finding salvage, right? Finding cool stuff. So they should be excited about that. And these ruins could lead, if I rolled another 6, to empire building. In other words, so they'd be coming towards the big empire. So it could be the finale of your campaign. Because that could be like where they start to plan a church and really create a civilization. But it would be a big epic, you would build up an epic campaign with scarier and scarier stuff because they're entering like a city sprawl. It's been nuked, but there's plenty of ruins around that they could find, underground creepiness, Planet of the Apes kind of thing, or I don't know what else, Resident Evil kind of thing, anything that you kind of want to come up with. And the whole point is that they're there to try to evangelize and plant churches. And if they plant a church in that area, you can, they can get support. There's a whole one page little game system that when you plant a church in a hex, that hex now becomes your territory. So you can build up a campaign where you have a bunch of hexes as you build up your map. And I literally envision it. I haven't done it yet myself because I don't have I've just created the game and I haven't had a group yet to play. I've played it, I've play tested it, but I've not play tested the campaign. But this is how I envision it. And I hope you guys will carry this through. Is that you basically print out the hexes. There's different hexes. Show you right here. Like this. And as they go to a hex, you tape that, or attach it to the next hex. And then on the back, you can write down the church that's in the area, the health of the church, and the security of the church. And if that church gets to a certain point, it's really strong. And as long as there's churches around it, it's totally safe. The center church will be safe. But all those churches can provide the characters with assets or support, as you build out. But eventually, you're going to have an encounter with the Empire, and the Empire is going to start retaliating towards your church hexes and stuff. You got to deal with that, and then deal with them. That's the hope and dream. All right, so when they do a drive test, and you make them do a drive test because you're going through the ruins of so it could be all rubble and everything. They're going to get a minus D6 to their drive, so you could get them to crash or hit things. Because if they fail the drive test and they fail it by a certain number, there's potential for crashes and stuff. So they can get stuck, and having to repair like flat tires or whatever it is, and then get encounters and get attacked. And that'll drain them of health and resources if they ever get attacked, and they get no treasure out of that. But I think, especially if it's like the Empire. All right, so let's roll again for what they could find in the ruins. A 1. Okay. Outskirts, small hiding tribe. So this is probably a small town ruins. Small hiding tribe. Okay, so let me do an extra feature here, D12. So it doesn't involve the Empire yet, thankfully, because it's a starting game. 4, unique fun ruin, a bonus if salvageable. Okay, unique fun. Okay, so I could have some fun. Maybe like a carnival, like something, something interesting. It could be that or something else. All right, so let's keep that in mind. Oh boy, do I need to make some carnival assets? I want to make generic assets. So I'd probably make more. I don't know if I'll do a carnival. I've got to think about that. Let me do the aggression table for beast or tribes based on the small tribe that's there. Small hiding tribe. I should probably just put small tribe, not hiding tribe. That way we can decide here if they're hiding or not. Hunts. Determined to take, ambush, enslave if able, or eat rarely. Yeah. So this is a creepy. Okay. Eat rarely. So what does that mean? That the tribe eats rarely, or that there's a rare chance that they will be cannibals? That's up to you as a GM to decide. They may. Can't blame them in a sense because they're all pagans, and cannibalism was very common in paganism. They seem to erase that in history. And the cannibals too were creepy back then. I've read and heard some accounts, like firsthand accounts where they're so like manipulative, even to the people they're going to eat. They like keep them as prisoners and literally mentally torture them. They harass them, they mock them. We're going to eat you tomorrow. We're going to eat you tomorrow. We're going to eat you the next day. And there was this one Christian who kind of fooled them into believing into a moon god. Anyway, whatever. It's on YouTube somewhere, but I do and don't want to read more about cannibals and their creepiness. And it depends on your party too, I guess. If you're playing with kids, then definitely take that out. If you're playing with adults and they're kind of dark and twisted like you and me, you might want to add the cannibal thing in there. We will eat you, So then they got to convert them. They got to bring them to the Lord Jesus Christ. So that's a good one there. Tribal, social, economic level. Okay, so this I'm going to roll, but I'm going to definitely, it's a small tribe, so I'm going to base it off of that. A 9. Ooh. Marauders, boss gangs, low-tech trades, slaves. Okay, so that kind of makes sense. And low-tech, so they have some low-tech. They'll have guns and stuff. They'll have a boss and gangs, so they're gonna, but still small. I'm gonna make it a boss with a few tough guys and definitely slaves. So they'll have slaves and marauders, but they're still ambushy and secretive. So that's getting creepy right there. Okay, so that's as far as I need to go. There's no mutant beasts or anything. Conversion. This is just a guide for how what you should think about. You know how you should do it. But if they're this hunt, determined to take ambush, enslave if able, or eat. I would say they would eat him if they had to kill him. You know, they don't eat him. I guess if they have to kill him, they'll probably eat him. You know, but again, adult version of the game, not the kiddie one. That's really it. I've created a scary, freaky, and I've got to use ruins. And then I got to make a map, and then I got to make the marauders. So let me make a quick map of this. I have to make a new map. Okay, create scene, ruins, small tribe. Okay, I forgot the dimensions. I should have just copied. Let me see. Let me just copy one of these and then do the ruins, small tribes. Or let me see. Yeah, I just rather copy it. Then I can just use its settings. Not that one. Where are they all? I feel like this is old. I feel like, oh, here. All right, let me use this map. Right, what's okay? Let me duplicate it. Duplicate, and move it out here. And I'm going to rename it the Ruin Small View. Ruins Small Tribe. Although that's what the people ruins. That's I'm just gonna say ruins. I know. Okay, ruins, and then this one I'm gonna do is this is the GM thing. Ruins of I like to name it something cool, so that it gives me going. Ruins of the. So they hide, they're ambushers. They could be cannibals. Ruins of the shadowy. Ruins of the something fun as well. Ruins. I mean, I could do like a One Piece, like crazy kind of, I could go that route too in this game. Like I'm into One Piece, and I'm just enjoying it as just fun, light entertainment. So literally every one of these hexes could be like One Piece, where it's just a crazy boss, crazy clown villains. This could be like a Road Warrior clown world, the Wastelands. You could go that theme, or you could go kind of more of a realistic, or I tend to be kind of silly. So, although in it's sort of a reality goofiness, and I don't know the fun ruin. I don't know if I want to do a carnival or something else. I can't think of anything else. I have to go walk the dog and ponder this, but it's a nice ponderance to do, to ignore the troubles of the world. Ruins of the small town vibe. I don't know yet. Okay, whatever. So I want to get rid of most of this. I can always bring them back, because I feel like it's more of a wasteland. I'm envisioning more of a wasteland. I'm going to keep some of this stuff. The roads I want to keep. These are all the foresty things. I'm envisioning more of a wasteland kind of ruins. So I'm going to get rid of most of this. Oops, I deleted the road, but whatever. And these are obviously, these bunker things are kind of cool. So I'm going to keep these. Big giant mushrooms, dead trees, I guess are fine. Oops, whatever. There's some dead rats. I'm gonna So there's always generally going to be a road that runs through this area because what is this missing? What is this? Centigore. Oh, okay, I moved that. I'm not gonna use that right now. I just want to delete all the tokens because I don't know what I'll include. I could include some beasts because you always want to have a fun beast thing in there. You know, just for the fun of it. A mutated creature. Okay, let me see. The road, I think I'm gonna have the road be off to the side, and they see the ruins over there, kind of a thing. You know, so I'll have them drive through, but I'm gonna have the road. They're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna want to drive towards the ruins. This map is. I don't like the dimensions. I want it to be more widescreen. Let me fix that. I thought this would be widescreen, but it's not. Configure. Oh, I just want this map to be so big. Let me see if I can do this. Which may not be cool, you know, for other. I don't know if it's intensive to make the maps this big. If it messes up, you know, their computer systems or the connection, but whatever. I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, they could drive a bit. So that'll be like a dirt road that goes towards the ruins. I'm gonna color that up. Change it to width 30. Line like that. Make it a little. I'm gonna turn this into a kind of a, you know, like I said, wasteland. So let me change the grid color basics. This color, I want to make it more sort of wasteland feel. Okay. I just want it to be a wasteland. Oh, this needs to be a little more. Our roads are usually lighter. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Hopefully that won't bother me. Let me lock it. That is kind of annoying. It's hard to select other things. Oh no, I'm in the wrong. I'm in the wrong one anyway. Okay, never mind. Okay. What are these little guys? Man, this map is big. I might do rats. Okay, so we got that going. Let me turn off the game pauses. Ruins. All right, let's do a ruin there. And most of these are going to be visible. Off to the side. We don't need a cage. Oh yeah, there's going to be. Oh, we might need a cage actually. Yeah, slaves. So the tribe has got to be hidden. So they're whatever I do for them is going to be hidden. So actually, I should probably hide these. They're living in. I wonder too. Maybe like put something interesting here that lures, and it looks fun. And lures the players in. I don't know. And this is, you know, just so you know, the tokens here that you get are for the Apocalypse game and the sci-fi game. And I consider like the sci-fi game where you're going around exploring planets. Many of the planets are like this. They're abandoned. They're wasteland. They're, you know, they don't have the technology range is from primitive to sci-fi. So you could go to a corporate, you know, high sci-fi type of space station, or you could go to a planet is you know, like Tatooine, devoid and low tech and struggling, and even apocalyptic, like post-apocalyptic. I was going to look for ruins. So I've got some ruin buildings here. So you could put these in. Definitely be the ruins, and these will be, I think fun for them. What is that one? Oh, that's like a size is weird. I still don't have down the you know, the resolution ratios for everything. This is just a, you know, whatever, kind of a ruin. They'll be the right size for the printables, but when it comes to the tokens, like in which sizes are correct and not, it's a little off. My apologies, but you know, I've done so many through different stages of doing this that I don't know exactly what goes where. Okay, I had to go do some stuff. Where am I at? Ruins. I have no idea what I was just talking about because I was just off the top of my head. All right, so here's the ruins. Let me get some terrain. Hidden terrain. I think I want to make an underground, fun little underground thing. You know? That they find. Some cool something. Because remember, it's fun. We're supposed to have a fun thing that they find. Let's see, outpost. Now this is the sci-fi stuff, but obviously you can use it here too. Make a little room down there, a little passageway. I mean, I could use this if I wanted. Either or. That's too. I feel like this is too big. Let me do this guy. Put this in there. I feel like it needs to go down further. Let me just use this one. Oh, in the ruins, I think I have the other direction as well. I don't know if you can hear me. Ruins. Yeah, this way. A junction? And something mysterious. Let me see. Let's go back to outpost, I believe. Do I have these organized well? No, but whatever. What about a missile storage? They get some missiles. Because missiles are going to be rare. And a missile launcher. That could be fun. That's fun stuff right there. Small town. Does that make sense? No. Let me just put it there just to think about it. You know, that's the fun thing about this. You can kind of think about it. Here's some ruins if you want to throw some ruins around. Now, in my game, I generally will have every bit of map piece is a potential to salvage, search for salvage. So I need to be aware of that. And I noticed the players get pretty, even when I was doing D&D, they get pretty obsessed with when I do these rolls, you know, because I leave it open, the potential for them to find things beyond what I'd want to give them. What's that? Hold on a sec, I got a text. Hold on a sec, I got to take this. Sorry, I'll be right back. So we're talking about salvage, finding things, players get a little addicted. Okay, am I back? Yeah. My wife rear-ended somebody, so having to deal with that car insurance stuff. Whatever, it's fine. It's minor. Okay, no one's hurt. Okay, where are we at? So yeah, the players really get kind of excited over rolling to find things. Where's that rule? There's a salvage table here somewhere. Here. So search and salvage for Apocalypse is simpler than the sci-fi one, and it's just this right here. So what I'm going to do, now they get a plus D4 to the search, and that's so what they need to roll a total of, yeah, and this should work. I'm gonna, you know, it's a playtest thing I need to do, you need to do, but if they roll, and it's a DRR search, so whatever the higher the number, the better chance of them getting a DR12. to then roll the entire table, because there's a good chance they'll get a 14, so that's a DR4, and this is all they can find. If they roll a 16 in their search, then you roll a D6. They get a D6 because it's whatever is above a 10. So 16 is a D6, 18 is a D8, 20 is a D10, and 22 is a D12. And if you go back over 22, you just add the number. Like a 24 is a D4, so 22 is a D12. But when you get to 24, it's in a second die, which is a D4. That just adds to the number of the amount that they find. Okay, and if it's some crazy number, then you can obviously do some cool crazy thing. If it gets to the point where they're just constantly finding amazing stuff, you might want to say, you just bring it down a notch or something, as far as what they find. Or you can also make it so that things are the condition of things. I think I do need to make a table like the condition of things they find that are amazing. Like any of this rare table salvage should have a condition that it's. Oh, here it is. I did to it. Right here, D6, old, crusty. Oh, this is for the manual. I didn't do it. Okay, so let me do another table. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna pause this and do another table that is condition of stuff. So let me do that real quick. Pause this. See, I'm working on it, even for the Kickstarter. Okay, even if they find gear, like this stuff here in the rare table salvage, I did a condition of gear found. So you roll a D6, 1 through 3, quite broken, maximum parts and difficulty fix. So depending on the level of bonus, whatever, you kind of just decide, make it like a 20, 22, 24, something difficult that they gotta do to fix it. And they also need high tech to fix it. Maybe a low tech, depending on if, whatever it is. You kind of just have to decide, you can talk it out with them, or you can be mean and decide on your own. I need to open this up. Okay. So 4 or 5 refurbished parts. So a DR result gives penalty or like new. So if you can make that a lower number, make it like or don't even make it a number, just whatever the DR. So if they roll really bad, like an 8, so that's I would say a minus D4. So they may fix it up, clean it up, but it's at minus D4. If they roll a 14, if they roll a 12 or above, they succeed. And then there's just no whatever, or they 14 or above, right, to refurbish it. It's relatively easy to refurbish something. And 6 is obviously it's like new, but the refurbished part is easy for someone that's got technology to do, especially weapon repair or gear repair. But obviously someone that doesn't, it's a 50-50 chance that they fix it or not, refurbish it. So just keep it simple. And anything above a 14, whether they may roll 22 or 32, it's like new then at that point. You don't give them bonuses or anything. Or you could give them a temporary bonus, because they really polished it and cleaned it up like a gun. It's really, really good for the next few rounds. And they get a D4 or D10 for one session or one turn or whatever. But it's just temporary. And then goes back to normal usage type thing. But so yeah, that's just kind of it's open-ended for you to interpret, but that's the basics. And then if they find a manual or digipad, this is basically to further the story along or to advance their technology. So if they find a manual or digipad, those are basically the same thing. A manual, though, is a crusty old manual, so it's rather relatively easy to use, but it's old and crusty and could be dirty, so you could go with the condition to decide. The condition of gear or even manual found. So, and the digipad is, information in a digipad that is specific to, making a forge or how to make a factory or how to make a processor. And these things the players could decide to do on their own, but if they make these things, they could then give it to the church, and the church, it'll definitely help the church. But the med lab is very helpful. The laboratory might be helpful, depending on how crazy a campaign you want. Laser weapons. So you can obviously go to the sci-fi to get the sci-fi booklet to get the rules on the laser weapons, which are just slightly better, guns basically. And you just kind of, so these are things that they can find. 5 through 6 means location. So the manual or digipad will actually be information about a location. So that now, as a GM, you can create another interesting place that they can go find. And that's kind of up to you to come up with that. Once they decipher, and this is the way to, and the location, by the way, is not a manual. It's necessarily, or a digipad. It could be a map or just some kind of information somehow in some way. A map, a diary writing, something, just a postcard. It can be something very simple. It doesn't have to be a manual necessarily, or a digipad or anything. And digipad is, basically like an iPad. So, there's that. This conversion thing up here is just your kind of guide to how you might want to do it. There's a more detailed conversion thing in the Dark Ages if you want to use that or use it as a guide. But for this one, I keep it pretty simple. The oppressed, the survivors, the oppressed will always be ready to be converted. Whether they actually choose a faith or not is another thing, but they certainly want a religion or belief system where they are not so oppressed. So it's just a matter of beating the oppressors, whoever the bad guys are, and then just rolling really good on your preaching to the oppressed to then get them to accept you in your church. So it's not necessarily that you're converting them. It's just that you're getting them to accept your church, and then you let the church and the ministers of the church convert them or work on them while you go on to the next hex. And then the craziness of the oppressors is what also can get the players to really role play their preaching to counter them, or counter the survivors too. The survivors, you can make them kind of reluctant in a way, and then saying odd things about their beliefs, so that the Christians can then try to role play that out, and then you can obviously just determine a difficulty based off of that. And the difficulty would be like, did they do a good job? Give them a plus D4. Did they do a bad job? Give them a minus D4. That kind of thing. And the way you could do the minus D4 is you could either have them roll it and it penalizes their roll, or you could roll it and then just add it to a 12, because the 12 is the basic number to beat. But you could roll a D12 and add that to it. Okay, so church plants is the rules for how you plant churches and all that. All right, let's get back to this. Searching. So I just went through salvaging and how you could kind of work that, tamper it down a little bit. So if they do find a lot of gear, you can have a lot of it be broken or messed up. And it could be repeat gear too. Like they find a plus D4 axe. Ooh. The next one could be another plus D4 axe, because that's what, or hammer or axe, same thing. So they just get like a copy of everything. Oh yeah, I can put like little, workbenches in here too. So they find like a laboratory, which would be cool for their, finding something fun. Okay, what else? We got some toxic cans out here. We got a remote building out here. This should have a beast in it or something, obviously. Or someone crazy that warns them. Or it has human bones if you want to make them cannibals, the hidden tribe. What does the hidden tribe do? How do they like to lure people in, other survivors that come to there thinking they're going to find a happy dappy place, and then they come and attack. And they're like a small, I need to put some terrain out here that kind of covers them, gives them cover to the rocks. I forgot what it's called. Nope. I made this myself and I forgot. Or do I use... Here's another. Oh, here. Okay. Here's what I wanted. Put some rocks up here. And if you do this on a table or something, you wouldn't necessarily worry about this. You could create your own funky dunkiness. It's going to be like there's an opening between these rocks. I think I want to make these bigger. So obviously you couldn't print these out bigger, but on a table you could then do paper bag or whatever mountainous thing you wanted to cover the area. I'm trying to make a mountainous sort of cover, so it'd be very hard to just stroll into the hidden base. Now, if they go that way, they'll find it. They decide, hey, what's over there? So I'm gonna like leave this little opening here. I don't want to make it too obvious though. So well, maybe if there's two sides, they'll think it's just a normal. You know, they'll think it's just a normal terrain feature and not a hidden base of treachery. If I can rotate this. Make it like that. So it looks treacherous. Then what though? Think about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm trying to see here. If they come along here and they see, I think they're going to get mightily suspicious. I like using these as like a gully type thing. For some reason. I'm going to use it. Oops. I'm going to use it. I could rotate them a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna have them drive along here. I'll have those silly vultures sitting atop these, just watching, not doing anything, but making them nervous, which is kind of funny. Beasts. Death vaults. Oh boy, that teeny. Death vaults. You know, they probably won't attack. I'm trying to think, what if this is a hidden village? I think I'm missing my, did I lose it? Back here. Oh, I'm gonna have like a hidden, yeah, like a hidden tower that keeps a lookout. But it's very camouflaged, and they only will see it if they really look to the mountains. You know, if they really want to see it, like, you know, do some sort of telescope type thing, like sniper rifle or something, then they might see it. Other than that, though, they're not going to see it. Okay, so here, I know why this is missing because I moved it to beastoid or insectoids. And then, of course, I got to change it here. I know there's a lot of that in this in Foundry where you have to do two things. Meeker. I made this guy weaker. Made a version. I guess that's weaker. Although this guy I need to fix up because I was playing him and it was not playable the way I had set it up. So be aware of that. I do create these things. I don't get to playtest all of them. And I know that my I don't know. Yeah, this thing did not. This right here did not work. I have to redo this. Do it right now. Okay, so the aggression's 5. That's all fine. This is all fine. But this part, so grapple, then piercer, then toxin. So grapple. So grapple test. If successful, then toxin 14. I should just do toxin 14. Then on next turn, D10 damage and toxin D14 or take D6 toxic affliction. So this thing will grasp, or what's it called in grapple? I mean, what about a centipede when it wraps around something? Okay. If this is successful, oh, I know. They have to save versus this number. Yeah, so that number, whatever the number the Centaur rolls, that's the number they have to save against. Grapple versus result. If success, then on. So whatever this number is that I roll, let's say I do it right now. Let's just show you. Oh my gosh, where's my dice? Oh, this doesn't. All right, this is. Let me save this. Close this. Manage modules. Okay, turns all this off when it updates dice tray. I forget which ones I want. PDF pager. Oh, jeez. I think I forgot. Yes. Simple world building, I think. Special dice roller. Stream view. Yes. I think that's all I need. Oh, I like this one. PNP bugger. That one I had to figure out. Quick scale, I love. Why they don't have it, I don't know. I like token. Most of these I like. I just don't want to use them all. I try not to use them because you don't know which ones are going to be updated. But anyway, so this one's working. I hope. Okay, I was working on the Centaur. Okay, so when you roll the Centaur's grapple, it's that D20 plus a D4 plus 5. So it's really good at it. Oh, 15. So they have to save versus a 15. They have to resist 15, otherwise they're grappled. Okay? And they can use their aggression or awareness to do it. To avoid it. Okay, that's how that works. That's better. I haven't put that in the manual. Let me put that in right now. Where am I going to put it? Let me add a page. Where? Right? Where am I at? Oh, here. All right, let me just add a Centaur. Blah. It's kind of cool. Yeah, I generally, it's funny, I make my creatures there and then bring them in here. Centaur. And this is a fun one to use. Okay, then the formatting, gotta get that right. That. Just bony. So that's what this chitin is, the D8, and the D4 is because of how bony it is. So this is so the Centaurs have a really good armor save. These should all be bold too. And every attack should have a dotty dot bullet point. Okay. And I can obviously bring in the the insectoid. Or centigoid. Yeah, insectoid. Okay. So I'm still working on the map though. Almost done. Believe me, I kind of, it's almost done. I mean, it's a pretty simple, you know, straightforward type of venture sort of thing. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. This is fun and crazy and silly, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so I'm going to put a water feature, like toxic water. I mean, it's almost like this is too much for this map, but let's do it anyway. This one here. This is meant to be like an underground thing, but I'm going to put it right here. And then, of course, I'm going to put a creature in there. Mutated creature. Do I have it on here? There it is. Water beast. Okay. Water beast. Just leave it there. I should hide it, so I'll just do that. What do I want to be in here? I think the town, the obviously they want to lure people in, so they don't want to. Local goon. And I'm gonna say they don't have a vehicle or anything. Oh, there's a couple of. Oh, I made some sort of low tech as well. And a road warrior boss. This is probably. Let me see. I'll do groups of like 3 or something, depending on the characters. And you've got the folks. And these are the galactic group, but I just kind of like to use them as the people, the oppressed. And these oppressed are probably family, so they're going to be part of the warriors, you know. So it's going to be this is going to be a tough one to. I'm just kind of mixing and matching here. You know, I could change these up a little bit, but for now I'm just going to leave it like that. There's going to be a lookout. I'm going to keep it simple. So there'll be one group, you know, in the rocks, and the other group goes out to ambush them, capture them. Well, I might make it be like that, or like the boss goes with them. The boss stays back. You know, I don't really know how many I want to have attack or ambush. I'm not going to do anything too crazy, like too, you know, I'm not that smart. I don't feel I need to do a witch or any sort of spellcaster. I'm just going to do this like a basic straightforward. I'm going to put in something in here though, like some sort of beast. Well, we obviously have this beast here. They do salvage. I think this will be empty. Or maybe, you know, Anyway, you get it. You get the idea. Maybe a dino lizard, like a dino, big giant lizard. This is quite a bit already. And if they just gotta, this could turn into a church plant if they can convert these people. And the people are obviously going to be resistant to it. So this is a nice little simple adventure. Nothing too crazy. This could be a church plant. Obviously, a very successful church plant if they manage to do it. And if they manage to kill this beast over here, that'll give them a water supply. They'll have to clean out the water. It's toxic. I could make it a toxic pool, but whatever. But yeah, nice and simple. I'll probably add more to this as time goes by. So I'll keep it like this for now. Let me take a screenshot of it so that I can put it in the thing. And as I type it out, I'll probably come up with more ideas. I'm just going to fit it like that. Save to where does this go? Kickstarter? Or just regular maps? I can't even remember what I'm doing here. Battle maps, okay. Let me do ruins, hiding tribe. Ruins of, what do I call it? Ruins of rumination? What does rumination mean? Let me look that up real quick. Okay, so the act or process of chewing cud. The act of thinking about something in a sustained fashion. Well, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, ruminating. But that's not what this map is. Where am I trying to save it? Here it is. Ruins of... Small tribe. I can't think of anything else right now. Okay. So there we are. There is one more. I'm not going to build it out, but I'm going to quickly roll another one just for the fun of it. Let's go back up the page. Oh, this page. All right. Just quickly roll out another one just for the fun of it. All right, let me roll. 3. Forest woodlands. Okay, so I've done this one before, but let me roll it again. So drive test, minus D6. They could get stuck or hit a tree stump or whatever. Heaviest tool to remove debris. And if they do, I will give them a drain on their tool to do it. It'll be relatively easy, just takes time. And then in that process, I roll an encounter. A 5. Hidden settlement of cultists who worship a nearby mutant beast. Savable. Okay, so that's one I've done before. But I can do it again, because why not? So let me go through it. Extra feature though. I like to do extra features. 10. And you can make up your own tables too, like to add to this, especially the extra features one. It's kind of fun. So you can add your own little table of weird things that could possibly go on your hexes. 10. Enemy has high-tech weapon or ability. Oh, I might make the, whatever they worship nearby is a robot or a beast with some sort of technology and, cybernetically on it, and they're like, and so the player is going to find this and go, what the heck? And the people feed it maybe and worship it, and it takes that, and worship, and acts like their god and is their protector, but is really their oppressor. But that could be the case. Okay, so let me roll 1d12 on the aggression table for beast or tribes. So this could be 6. Approaches secretly if possible, quickly wants to steal only. If caught, tries to parlay or flee. Maybe someone has a cloaking device? The beast or thing that they worship, the ghost. Maybe there's a ghost and it has a cloaking device. I do like the cyborg crazy thing, but based off of this roll, I might do a cloaking device type thing, or maybe just camouflage. Oh, I know. Maybe there's person. I do have a token of like a druid looking person and in the forest. So they wear sort of camouflage. And then, so maybe those are the ghosts of the forest. And so if the players defeat or beat these people, then they get this camouflage. That could be cool. And to me, approachable in a sense. And these secretive fairy folk are just people, but they're using camouflage to steal Maybe they have a sniper rifle or something like that. So, or probably not. Maybe they just have, because they're, want to flee or parley. So it may be that they want to just work out a deal with them or whatever. Could be interesting. It's definitely a lot less climatic than a cyborg, crazy cyborg. Or maybe I'll just add that in anyway. But let's keep going. Tribal. So there's a tribe there, right? Hidden settlement. Okay, so let me roll their sort of economic level, which I may or may not use. Oof, 11. High tech. Ooh, advantage hidden esoteric. Oof. Oof. Yeah. This is one to put your head around. Arcology, high tech, advantage hidden esoteric. So we have a hidden settlement, and it kind of fits in with a hidden settlement. And then they worship a nearby mutant beast. Oh, and if it's mutant, let me roll the mutant beast. Let me see what we come up with, as opposed to the camouflage thing. Okay, let me just see. Maybe this will get me going here. 1 critter beast. 1, 2, 6. 3 predator. Okay. Let me roll its melee type. 4 stinger or fangs plus poison. Ooh, that's a spider. Oh, that's a spider. That might even work because spiders are very secretive, and this could be an intelligent spider too, like humanoid, almost humanoid. Because of the mutations and stuff. So stinger or fangs. All right, let's roll a type of critter. I'm going to go for a spider, I think, but let me roll just for the heck of it and see if it influenced me otherwise. 6 reptilian. Okay, well, yeah, okay. Roll reptilian works as well. Secretive, ambush, poisonous, stalking, scales. Yeah, okay. We've got a reptilian thing they worship, a snake type thing. They live in a hidden high-tech advantage. So they got something high-tech going on there. Whoa, that one's tricky. Something sneaky goes around. Wants to steal only. If caught, tries to parley or flee. Huh. I might have to make it a little more vicious where it will catch one person. Oh, maybe the townspeople are sneaky and secretive, and they want to steal technology from the people. Oh man, this is tricky. It's tricky only because I'm trying to adhere to the guide there. And the reason I'm trying to adhere to the guide there is because it forces me out of my comfort zone. It forces me from doing what I typically want to do, which is do some cyborg, fun. This is sort of forcing me to think in a different way. What if the arcology of people, they're the ones with the camouflage. They're the ones that steal, and they're stealing either for high tech or to sacrifice to their secret snake beast that lives in the forest, or they live in fear of it. So I don't have that rolled, but that's something I just have to decide. But I'm going to mull that over, I'm not going to make a final call on that in this video, but that's the things that you can use as a guide. And again, you don't have to go as me, like trying to make everything perfectly fit the descriptions. It's just more of a way of getting you to think a little. Wait, what did I roll for the D12? I forgot. Let me roll the extra. I don't know if I rolled something or not. I forgot. Let me roll and see if that affects me as well. 6. Location has extra resources. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I can double the whatever they find. Like in the arcology, you could have lots of rations and extra high tech if they, whatever they do there, if they defeat them or work with them, who knows? I have to figure that out. That's it. That's, kind of complicated. It can be complicated. It can be simple. It can be complicated. Anyway, that's kind of what I want to do to get you to see how you can create a hex crawl. And you do have to do a little bit of prep, obviously prep beforehand, and at least get enough hexes, fitting the 6 categories so that when they do roll for it, you'll have sort of one prepared. What I like to do though is generally I try to finish a hex in a game or two at the end of a session, so that when they go on to the next hex, it's sort of I get then the next to prepare for it. So I like, if it's possible, and it's worked out this way for me personally. Whenever they're at the end of a hex and have gone through it all, I will try to get them to decide which other hex they go through, and they can roll to survey the land ahead. And I tell them, and I can roll or they can roll what the terrain looks like, and then they can kind of decide which direction they want to go in, which hex. Or they might get information through the hex they're at, through the locals or something, so you might want to have some hexes ready. So you at least want to have those 6 hexes sort of prepped for before you start a campaign, so that they'll have a direction to go in, or guesstimate a direction to go in, and you'll have something somewhat ready. Okay, so that's my little talky talk and trying to get back into role playing and make some videos, not just geopolitical ranty videos. Anyway, so I hope this was fun and enjoyable for you, as it is for me, because I like doing this kind of stuff, because we need that. Storytelling is a part of our creation. We are created in God's image, and that to me is we are created to storytell, just the way God storytells. All right, remember, in the game of life, storytell, roll holy dice.